And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the deck. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me your boom.
He is Jalen Anthony Rose. What up, Doe? I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in, center stage on the mic.
We putting it on wax. It's the new style.
We're Jalen and Jacoby. What do we do?
We get the people what they want.
Draft day. Jalen Rose sitting across from me right now wearing a replica of the red and white suit just to get in the mood.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the mood, I see you all morning. I watch Get Up every day. I see you every day. You put this on in kind of like a Halloween costume. The way you walk changed. You started talking louder. You're fired up. And then you were just looking at your phone, smiling. And I was hearing noise coming from it. And I didn't want to inquire because you were so locked in. Tell the people what you just watched.
What a time to be alive. So, first and foremost, it's always great to acknowledge when you're fortunate, and I feel so very
just stunt on him, Jalen.
So
just stunt on him.
every day.
Just stunt.
You know, there's so many things.
Don't do it.
I'll do a list another time. But what I was going to say is, you know when all is right in the world? When I'm on the ad with Tommy and Ghost. That's when things are all right in the world.
So if you're like me and you don't watch the show Power.
Hey.
I'm watching Power this year, though. If my brother's on it, I'm watching Power
Thank
this year.
you.
I'm watching. And you know what? I can get caught up. So here's my question. When you say an
Let
ad,
that roll, Reg.
When you say an ad, what is it? You saw a promo for this season or something and you're in it?
Yes, so for those who just started being fans of the project, we've only existed 7 years. Where you been? I've probably only seen 10 movies, but I've watched them 150,000 times each. Like right now, I watched The Art of Noise Netflix. I've watched it like 10 times. I watched Stretch and Bobbito like 15 times. Watched the Black Panther one like 15 times.
We can have Bobbito on the show.
I want to get him on the show.
No problem.
I want him on the show.
No problem.
That's a dictionary of hip hop. I need him on the show.
I've got his number memorized.
And so that's a beautiful thing. But I watch a handful of television shows as well. And my absolute favorite one, no question about it, is Power. Talked about it. It's well documented.
Yes.
And so in this industry, you only get a certain amount of opportunities. And if I get a chance to do a promo and it just so happens to be for Power on ESPN, and I look down at the email, I'm like, Ghost and Tommy gonna be there?
So you did an ad? What is it? What am I gonna see with Jalen Rose? You're gonna be on the show. You're not gonna be on the show.
I'm not physically on the show. It's a promo that's gonna run on Stars and on ESPN. It already started running. The reason why I'm talking about it, I just looked down at my phone at the Power_Stars handle, and I just watched it.
Something tells me you already follow that handle too.
I do.
It just popped up.
I do.
It wasn't like a corporate email. Like, Mr. Rose, we need your approval.
I was like,
oh, look at me.
Watch this. So I noticed it's going to be like 2 or 3 versions. So it's dope. Shout to Omari. Shout to Joseph, the whole Power team.
Shout out.
Good.
We got to get Curtis to come on the show.
Congratulations. Curtis has been on the show.
Again.
Yeah, he's been on the show. He was great. I really liked it. He seemed to like me, which I liked. He was really locked into David Jacoby. He was asking me follow-up questions and stuff. Look at 50 Cent. 50 Cent seems to care about me.
He's probably casting you for Tommy. He was sizing you up.
We'll see. I don't look anything like that guy.
He already saw this happening.
I look nothing like that guy.
You do.
I do not. He's just a white dude. He's the only white dude around. That's why you think he looks like me.
Somebody send me that picture online. I've been trying to find this. I'm glad we're having this conversation. Somebody sent this. There were a few of these pictures or memes or whatever you call them going around online. Please, one of our supporters, ask somebody, tell a friend, and tell a friend. There was a picture of, it was a knockoff of Ghost, Tommy, and Angela, and they made it myself, Eminem, and Molly. Somebody please send me that picture.
Okay. They will.
I need to make sure I have that.
We get the people what they want. Someone give Jalen what he wants. So, we got the TV show. And, like, the executives always have ESPN and ESPN2 on in their room. So we can't talk about certain things. But we can have the off-wax conversations on wax during the podcast for our podcast exclusive listeners. Love our podcast listeners, people that listen every day.
Since day one.
Especially the people that listen at work, especially the long-time supporters. Shout out to you. So Klay Thompson, some videos came out of Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson had his friends and a lot of young ladies, and they flew down to Cabo, and there's now video of him and his boys and some ladies in Cabo just enjoying themselves. And one of my favorite parts of it is, as one of the activities during their vacation, they seem to really enjoy themselves, is they played like a softball batting practice at night under the lights. This to me just makes me so happy. The idea that you've got your boys and all these beautiful women, and you're not just like,
so how many people?
I don't know. You know what I mean? It was like a 5-minute video. Like,
okay.
I'm not watching 5 minutes of Klay Thompson's vacation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it was a lot of just like Instagram stories tied together. It was on Therese Owens. Shout out to them. Thank you. But
shout out.
If you're with your boys and some ladies, who's gonna be like, yo, let's go play some softball?
Well, that sounds pre-planned.
It's fun.
That's what I like.
Because there was lights. There were lights involved.
No question. We like to give fun tips on this program. When you're about to have a few of the homies and a lot of ladies all in the same place at the same time, it can't be sit around, listen to music. You know what I mean?
I got some food and some liquor. It'll be great.
Correct.
Like, you can kick it up
That's
a notch.
boring.
Food and liquor you do that every day. You know, and food and liquor is something that happens. What you need to do is, I got some food. We're going to play something. We're going to go bowling. And there'll also be food and liquor there.
Well, here's what happened. We've made food and liquor an activity. It's not.
It's not. It's not at all. It's not.
It's not the main course.
No.
It's a side dish.
So I like where you're going with this. Organized activity.
No question about
with
it.
Larger groups.
No question. You have a large group, that's more fun. Everybody in the house, once you start drinking and watching TV and laughing and joking, people be falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Do something
fun. Physical.
Yes, do something physical.
Do something physical. I like that.
And also, that's when you learn the most about your friends. And ladies, you want to see how awkward a dude is? Have him play basketball.
You always say that.
Have him play basketball.
Every time we play pickup, you say the same thing. You say,
that coordination is
You always say this.
key.
You say, you know what's so crazy? Do you know what's so crazy, Jacoby? You go, so crazy. You know Molly's never even seen me play basketball? And every time I'm like, yo, that's crazy. In the back of my mind, I'm like, that's not crazy at all, Jalen Rose.
You only been retired 11 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, my wife ain't going to my pickup games. See me sweat, turn the ball over. You know? Like, that ain't happening.
So Joey ain't never seen you play.
She's gone to a couple games. We have like championships or whatever.
So don't be putting on wax like
league.
that. I know how she get down.
You know?
I saw her with 3 kids at a marathon going from stop to stop. I know
she didn't go stop to stop. She stood outside her house. The marathon went past the house. So she stood outside. They made a sign. And then I was with them with the sign for a while, talking, chopping it up, whatever. And this other dude next to me was like, you're messing up your time right now.
They did 2 locations close to the house.
So
they did, because I met them at the first one when you left, and then we went to one.
Oh, okay. Well, good for them. She was probably just trying to kill the day. So Klay Thompson, shout out to you and your Cabo vacation.
Enjoy.
Enjoy yourself.
To the
man,
victor go to spoils, like
you're
David Jacoby says.
Jump off all the yachts.
Celebrate enough.
Go fishing. I like activities. That's a nice tip.
Activities.
Nice tip.
When you're going to be hanging with a mass group of individuals, activities. Food, drinks, that's not an activity.
No.
Do something physical.
Go bowling.
Yes.
Go fishing. Do anything. Badminton, whatever it is. Volleyball.
Play, catch, anything.
Yeah, something. Throw a frisbee around. You gotta have something to do besides sit around and just chop it up. Yeah. You know? It's always good to get physical. Okay. Now this one we didn't put in the TV show because it's draft day. I want to focus on that. And there's no real new news update. But Kawhi Leonard, Greg Popovich, sat down in San Diego. Jalen Rose said there was not be wine involved. Serious meeting. Kawhi was not alone, we're hearing. And there are reports from Stephen A. Smith and others that Kawhi Leonard looked Pop right in the eye and said, I am no longer interested in playing for the San Antonio Spurs. I didn't hear it come out of his mouth. You know, Popovich hasn't said that that's exactly what happened, but it seems like that's what happened. Does that surprise you?
No. It doesn't surprise me. Based on the reports that we've heard recently and the criticism I've taken since January 23rd about it. Mm-hmm. One of the things about working in this industry is that we get a lot wrong. And I pride myself on definitely not only trying to get more right than wrong, but having like sniper-like bullets that I can look back at like that was a good one.
So me and the staff of the show, we have a lot of time that when you're not there, like all of our planning and preparation and meetings. And you often do this. We mentioned this, and I brought this up. Like that Kawhi thing, you were the first to say it, and now it's all over the place and it's blown up. You know, that's always nice when that happens. Yeah. But here's one thing that I said, is he breaks all this news, but you're not always on a phone. You're not always texting back and forth. You know what I mean? Like you're not that active with your communication. Because we all have those friends that are constantly in 17 different text conversations, and you know they're not paying attention to dinner.
You're
and you
gonna
just
like
feel like
this one.
You feel like they're never present with you in that moment.
You're gonna like this.
You know
one.
what I mean? Like you're very much present in the moment when I'm hanging out with you.
Correct.
You're not just looking at your phone all the time, and like I feel like you're not an over texter. You always text just the 100 emoji. Anything. You could be like, Jalen, we're going to start at 2 o'clock today. 100. Jalen, I really need your answer. Who are your top 5 draft picks? 100. For real. So how do you get these scoops? Because you're not working the phone. You're not Woj and Schefter working the 3 phones. How do you get this information?
So it's like a pyramid.
See, that doesn't make any sense already.
Yes, it does. Information happens and it's plentiful, like at the bottom. Okay? And so, depending on how close you are to the situation, the less people you have to talk to get closer to the facts.
Okay.
So, on the ground floor, who does that mean? Friends of players or coaches, family members, other media members with sources and tips that you try to follow up on.
Floor. Skinny part of the pyramid.
No, these are all people fishing for it.
Okay.
These are all people initially fishing for it.
Okay.
Okay. Then as you go up the pyramid, just like going up the ladder, there are few that are going to be able to take the elevation or be able to talk to other people that are a lot closer to it. Mm-hmm. They're like the player themselves, the coach themselves, the agent themselves. Go a little bit higher. You're talking about trades. The actual GM, the actual president, the actual owner.
All their significant others, as we learned from, Colangelo.
No question about it. And so there's a term called working smarter, not harder, but I'm no rookie. I've been doing this for a long time. So it's only 30 teams in the NBA. It's only 32 teams in the NFL. Those are the sports we primarily cover.
It's also your age, too.
Correct.
It's your age, because you're 34, right?
33.
33 years old. So you're in that, your contemporaries are no longer playing basketball. They've got post-basketball careers in basketball. So you've got those relationships with the people that you played with, that you champagne and campaigned with, that you went to war with. They're now not wearing sneakers to work.
You uncovering this story now.
They wear hard bottoms. And they wear suits and ties. And that's where you get the information. You also played on 17 different teams.
That helps.
You didn't have 25 teammates throughout your career. You had 450 teammates throughout your career.
That helps.
And you're conflict averse. So people don't walk away from interactions with Jalen Rose like, I don't like that guy.
No.
That's the key. When you play for a lot of teams, guess what? You play for a lot of coaches to create a lot more sources, play for a lot more players, play in a lot more cities, get a chance to learn the heartbeat of the team, learn everybody in the building, who parking the cars, who cleaning up the place, who making decisions, who's secretary, all of that. Trainer, equipment people.
It's great.
You get to know everybody.
It's like that for me too. All the ladies and guys I was PAs with back in 2000, they're all climbing the ladder too. Now they're important, influential executives. I still can't get them to hire me or give me a promotion or anything. But that's probably because they're intelligent and good at their jobs. So here we are on draft day. You're sitting across from me in a red and white suit. Marvin Bagley, big day for him. He's going to get drafted. We'll discuss exactly where. But he decided, while there was all this hype around him, and Puma, that he was going to drop his mixtape. So we now are going to listen to some Marvin Bagley, and we're going to decide if he does or he does not have bars.
No, I'm not the type to talk a lot. That's a song we gotta talk about, please speak. No holding back, it could be bad for you. So he ain't do you right before, girl, I'm the man for you. Y'all must have forgot when they passing the rock. I be up at the top, looking up at the clock, going for the game for a year. I came back like Pac when he got shot. They wouldn't believe it, they had to watch, but I don't listen to the negative energy. They gon' envy me. I do not care if they are not feeling me. I'm on mine, gotta go and get it. I'm on time, ain't never tardy. Man, I'm out to grind and I barely party. Said I just beat him with the left like Roy. I was built for this game, I just kill and destroy. Y'all really making me amp, y'all ain't playing no more. I'm on the track with the champ, I just gotta record, for real. Now I'm about to go freestyle.
Not bad.
Check, look.
Not bad.
Yo, I shoot the 3 like Grayson. I be in the gym working hard like I'm Jason Tatum. I ain't really playing. I'm coming up with the top and y'all staying, listening. In the booth, I be glistening.
I think that's
Time
actually
out.
freestyle.
Pause that, bring that back. I'm just coming up the top, y'all ain't know I could rap. Put the headphones in, now I'm going out. I'll be balling hard.
First of all, I respect anybody that actually comes off the top of the dome and then releases it to the public.
I be balling so hard every day and night.
Your thoughts on Marvin Bagley's bars or no bars?
Here's my thoughts. You ready for this? The first NBA rap beef, Bagley, Ball.
Oh, I can see that.
It's already on wax. I just put it out there.
Heard it here first. Bags and balls.
Here's the thing.
Shout out to
I ain't mad at exactly what you just alluded to. Like, I love when people go on Funk Flex and they freestyle still to this day. Mm-hmm.
But even then, you can tell if they're quote unquote freestyling or if it's a written verse that they just memorized. Correct.
But that's, for me, is the true essence of rap music. It just truly is. And so I appreciate that he was trying to do that on wax. Mm-hmm. But here's what advice I would give as an OG. Okay.
Oh, I like this.
He too young to be saying they must have forgot.
That's a good point. You can't rhyme tardy and party.
Because he ain't did his work just yet. You see what I'm saying? That's one.
Sure.
Number two, when I heard that, as somebody that's heard so much music that fancies himself as a whack DJ, when I heard that, the first thing that came to my mind was somebody that I actually saw do that, who was a terrific puncher named Roy Jones. And then I remember he was playing basketball games and doing fights on the same day, and his song one time was, "Y'all Must Have Forgot." And then I was like, oh, he's inspired by Roy's song. And then a couple of lines later, he referenced Roy. And I'm just sitting over here like a hip-hop connoisseur. It's like, that's kind of why I'm the Burt Sugar of music sometimes. Because I caught that. And here's the other thing. I ain't mad at the Pac reference. I see you trying to feel a little bit older with it.
Sure.
A little more mature with it.
Yeah.
So I ain't mad at that.
So I've only listened to that much of it, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I love it or don't, whatever. But I will say this is, we have a hip-hop connoisseur that works in this program that has very discerning taste. A gentleman named Reginald Hooks, who thinks Cameron is trash, okay? That's where he sets the bar. The bar's pretty high for Reginald Hooks. And we always ask him to do this. Hey, clip some Alonzo Ball song, clip some of Damian Lillard's album, so he's listened to a lot of athlete rap. He's listened to a lot of athlete albums. He's now in my ear trying to get his opinion across. You ain't got the mic, Reg. He said...
Wait, but Reg got this powerful. He got the people.
He does, yes.
Shout out.
Reg knows. People know that if you want to be on the show, shout out Reg. He said it's not whack.
Nope.
And in Reg, you translate that from Reg to English, that's a good review.
That's a B.
Yep. That is. That's a B- right there.
Yeah.
So if Reg says it's not whack, then it's got to be good. That's Marvin Bagley. I know you listen to the show every single day. Reginald Hooks says you're not whack. I know that doesn't seem like a glowing review.
But we're
endorsement.
we're grizzled music veterans.
Yes.
I mean, tell them about your musical experience. For example, when I brought up the Stretch and Bobbito part.
What?
Like, people just underestimate, like, when you're...
Oh, when I was just staying up late?
Yes.
Because they had the 90-minute cassettes, but for Stretch and Bob, you need the 120s. Yep. Do you remember the 120s?
Of course.
The 120s came out after the 90s. For some reason, they came out with technology later. So you would have to get the 120s and just listen to Stretch and Bob. And even before I lived in New York, so I could actually record Stretch and Bob, I used to get in the car with my boy Shaka. And we would drive to, I believe, Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Tell them the dedication.
20 minutes.
Tell them.
Drive there, buy recordings of Stretch and Bob.
Tell them.
So I would drive for an hour and 20 minutes just to buy recordings of Stretch and Bob, and then we'd listen to it on the way home, just to have the latest. It's more fun when you have to work for it. Now, you gotta get a title account.
Or, by the way, they did something with that program since I've been, restudying them on Netflix, that we've been doing on this program since day one.
Spending a lot of time just BSing?
Tight velvet rope.
Yep. Yeah. They did.
Tight velvet rope.
They did.
Okay, of what they were going to play on the air and who they let talk in front of the microphone and recite rap lyrics.
Can I give you a 20-second personal story?
Of course.
Me and Bob hosted It's the Shoes that I created and produced with Kevin Wilds and many others. Shout out to John Hawk, Sean
Shout
Trey.
out.
And me and Bob spent a lot of time together, traveled the country all the time, taking 2 flights a week, you know what I mean? All the time, every meal together. We were like, tight, right? And I spit to him an Obi-Wan Jacoby verse in the car while I was driving. And when I was finished, he said, "That was dope. I would have had you on the show."
What?
It really touched me. It really touched me. Now, it was 10 years after the show had been canceled, no longer on the air anymore. And I will never, ever spit that verse into a microphone, so don't tweet us and ask, or don't call in and ask. But it felt good.
Well, y'all were clearly good friends. He was stuck in the car with you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what other things that were involved, like any beverages in any way, shape, or form.
No, Bob is very, very clean, down the middle. Bob's a great, great human being. He does a lot of great things for a lot of great people. And he's also got an autobiography film coming out. He's got his Stretch and Bob movie. He's also got a documentary that he made about playground basketball in New York City. Everyone can check out all Stretch and Bob's
Shout out.
work. Let's give people what they want.
Washing my nose, oh yeah.
I'm a shower curtain, and I do one thing. Keep water from leaking everywhere. So you see why I feel useless compared to Geico, who does so much more. Like, not only could Geico save you money, but they've been around for over 75 years. And they give you 24/7 access online, over the phone, or on the Geico app. And they've got a 97% customer satisfaction rating. They do all this while I have to listen to this chucklehead. Oh, good, he stopped.
Washing my toes.
Oh, great, an encore.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Today is the day that changes people's lives, changes the future of franchises. And as all of these prospects are being evaluated, their games are being picked apart, what they do on and off the court is picked apart, people look for something. They look for positive attributes, and they also look for red flags. So, Jalen Rose, I'm going to give you some details about these prospects and ask you the question, is this a red flag?
You're going to ask the dude that wore a red and white suit is something else a red flag
exactly.
on another individual.
If I was about to draft you in 1994 and I saw the suit you were wearing, I would be like, that's a red flag. Okay. I'm not drafting
So that's how we play this game.
So you understand how this works now. Perfect. Our colleagues are reporting that there's a potential that Michael Porter Jr. could redshirt his first year in the NBA. Jalen Rose, if you are evaluating these prospects, would you consider that a red flag?
No.
No. Explain.
Because he was the number one player coming out of high school just a handful of months ago amongst all of these prospects.
Yep.
He only played 3 games, 53 total minutes.
Yep.
He had back surgery. During workouts, he dealt with a hip issue. And so
small hip issue.
I understand that people will say you're already picking in the lottery, so you can't afford to make a move like this. But that's what Philly did with Joel Embiid.
I know. I kind of like the redshirt professional NBA player. Ben Simmons worked great for him. Blake Griffin worked great for him.
And a lot of teams that's picking at the top of the draft will be in this position again.
Not trying to win a championship next year, yes.
So for him, he's that level of talent that his upside outweighs that risk, so I would not wave the red flag. I would still take him as an elite prospect.
Great. Next, Mo Bamba refused to give his medicals to the Grizzlies and said, basically, I don't want to play for the Grizzlies. Would you consider that a red flag if you're a GM that was going to draft Mo Bamba?
If I was the Memphis Grizzlies, to me, that's a slap in the face to them. And it doubles down and shows you why keeping it tanking goes wrong. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to give him the red flag. I'm going to give it to them because they got to create an attractive organization that says, okay, they're getting Marc Gasol back. They're going to get Mike Conley back. I want to be a part of that. But these young players saw the product they had on the floor last year, and a lot of them probably say, I don't want to be affiliated with that organization. J.B. Bickerstaff. If the name sounds familiar, because his father, Bernie, is a longtime coach and NBA executive. He was the person, unlike you, that drafted me wearing this suit.
I would never draft you if you were wearing that suit. So DeAndre Ayton looks like a great prospect. Seems like he's going to be an all-star. Seems like he's going to make an impact. Seems like he's certainly going to be picked number 1 in the draft this evening, but you never know. However, we don't know what he's like off the court. But we have read that he has alter egos, one of which is named Alejandro, who sort of speaks with a Latin flair. The other is named Josh, who's a middle-aged yuppie. Jalen Rose, DeAndre Ayton having alter egos, is that a red flag if you're looking to draft?
It's something I'll pay attention to, but for me it just sounds like he probably has a couple of fetishes that he may grow out of.
That's Alejandro and Josh right there.
And all young people have things that they stop doing once they mature. Mm-hmm. But also, we all become someone else. Like Beyonce becomes Sasha Fierce.
She did for a while there too, yeah.
So I gotta allow him to cook and see how productive he is out on the floor.
Great Sasha Fierce reference. Really showing your range here. Next, Luka Doncic told Howard Beck of Bleacher Report some of his goals for when he moves to America, some things he wants to accomplish. In addition to an NBA championship, he wants to date Jennifer Aniston, dunk on Porzingis, buy a tiger like Mike Tyson, buy a Porsche, a McLaren, and a Lamborghini, and win a championship. Jalen Rose is already waving the red flag.
Because he's doing too much.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
He ain't even walked across the stage yet. Okay? I wasn't even feeling like that. Okay?
You just wanted to fix your teeth.
I just wanted to fix my teeth and have a pool filled with 40 ounces. That's all I wanted.
That's a red flag too, though. Let's be honest.
Correct. And buy my mother a house. Those are the only 3 things I wanted to do.
Luka, before you get a tiger, let's average like 10 points and 8 assists. Let's do that.
And you don't just holler at Jennifer Aniston.
No.
She's out of your league.
Yeah.
I'll say it for her. Okay? So she doesn't have to.
Next. This one is interesting. It is brand new. Marvin Bagley, a lot of attention on him today in the past few months. He dropped a mixtape. You are going to draft a prospect that just dropped a mixtape. Is that a red flag, Jalen Rose?
It's 2018, and it can't be. These young people love music, and the ability to make music on their phones or on their computers is so available to them. It's not like when we were growing up, it's like, oh, I need to go to the studio and I need to be there 12 hours.
Good point. Yeah, you don't have to invest too much time and money the way technology is today to have a mixtape.
You have off time. We're all watching TV or listening to music anyway. It would be a red flag, 2 things. If the content was over the top, which it isn't.
Good point.
And or if it was whack.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, you think this is good? That's where your judgment is?
Correct.
We might not trust you to make intelligent decisions on the basketball
court. But for
court.
now, I'm going to let him cook because I think he's going to be a double-double machine in the league.
Yeah. NCAA champion Dante DiVincenzo. We've got a picture of him signing a picture of himself. That's how he holds a pen.
Oh, my goodness.
That is, I don't even know if I can do it.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that a red flag?
Oh,
he holds a pen like that. That's how he holds a pen. Is that a red flag, Jalen Rose?
Oh, man.
I can't even write like that.
So it's hard to judge the process, okay? Because he may have great penmanship.
Sure.
Okay, he may be really efficient
I think
writing
it's
his way.
generational too. Like if you're his age, you don't do too much writing.
That's where I was going. They don't teach young people really to write in school. Mm-hmm. How fascinating is that? So I can't act like it's a red flag, but since I am in my 40s, and when I do see that, I'll be like, I got to help you out a little bit.
You've got a Twitter history that's a little red flaggish.
If that wasn't a red flag, nothing will be.
Good point. Finally, a prospect is wearing a red pinstriped suit at the draft, and you were going to draft that prospect. Is that a red flag?
Thank you, Bernie Bickerstaff.
That's why you slipped. That's why you slipped. You were probably going to go like 5th. And they
like,
saw the suit, and they were just like, what?
Not going to be able to do it.
Jalen Rose, if Vlade Divac called your phone, first of all, would you answer, or would you let it go to voicemail? Second of all, would you advise him to go with Marvin Bagley or Luka Doncic?
Even the Kings can't mess this up. I like De'Aaron Fox. He's 6'3", he's athletic, he's light of build. But he's really fast with the ball, and you want to keep it in his hands because you just picked him last year. You want to see what he can do. He made a couple of game winners. He showed some promise. You don't now take Luka Doncic, while is a creative offensive player, can make the threes, is a really good passer. He's slow of foot. He's going to struggle defensively, and he's not much of an athlete. So you can't have those two players on the floor defensively in today's game because they would get torched.
So you think it's a fit thing? It's not the best player available. You think it's the fit for the Kings?
And I like both young prospects, but just not together.
Sure.
There are fools that I like separate, but I don't like them together.
Sure.
The exact same thing. And so you have to take Bagley. I think that he reminds me a lot of Chris Bosh, especially offensively, who I played with actually his rookie year. Really left-handed dominant, an improved jump shooter, can shoot mid-range, but he's just a really good finisher. He's going to rebound.
Gives a lot of rebounds.
Yeah, he's a really smart player too. So I would take the big guy in this case if I was the Kings at number 2.
Surprising that Luka Doncic, champion, he's been a professional for 3 years, could fall even past number 3 in the draft, which tells you that this is a very talented and top-heavy draft this year, and I'm so excited for it this evening. Moving on. The Lakers did something that we don't do too much. They had a meeting. The Lakers got everybody together. Jeannie probably arranged it. There were probably some snacks. There's an agenda.
And avocado.
The main agenda item was to warn all employees that they should not tamper and to just refamiliarize themselves with the NBA tampering rules.
Oh, I know how that went.
Now, you know that this is not for all Laker employees. This is really for one Laker employee.
You want me to tell you how that went?
Irving Magic Johnson.
You bring everybody together. And by the way, everybody knows it's a Hall of Fame mogul, my idol, so you know it's all up. So you bring everybody together.
Yep.
And it's like 100 employees in a room.
Well,
and people still getting food, and everybody's still shuffling around.
Yep.
Some people getting tea.
How are the kids?
Some
How's
people
everything?
Everybody kind of getting set up.
Yep.
And like 90% of the people are set up, but 10%
big
of the people are
tables,
scrapping.
Larry O'Brien trophies everywhere.
And then all of a sudden, Magic like, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I said, I'll be right back. And then when he leave out.
When he come back, like, oh, we're getting Paul George.
When he leave out, you tell them that. And then when he come back, he like, all right, let's start the meeting. This is what we're going to do this summer. We got 2 max spots, and I'm going to be able to do this.
I'm gonna fill
Y'all
them both.
believe in me.
Yes. Do you think Magic Johnson has communicated with high-profile free agents in the NBA so far, even though it is against the NBA's rules?
No.
It is. It's against the rules. You don't think Magic has been on text, or maybe he's got people that he shares in common with some high-profile free agents that have all spoken. Do you think right now on draft day, Magic Johnson knows how he's going to fill those 2 spots?
He doesn't know because the players don't know. You still got to allow things to play out. Kawhi Leonard doesn't know where he's going to be next year.
Well, he knows where he's not going to be next year.
Paul George still has to see what's going on in OKC, and is he going to walk away from his 5th year and or walk away playing from Russell. And we saw how Russell took KD leaving. You saw him do the subliminal already with the Ice Cube diss track.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that was kind of planting the seed. And then LeBron James, I still don't believe he knows what he's going to do either.
Well, if you are Irving Magic Johnson, the Hall of Fame mogul, do you think he fills both those spots at the same time? Or do you think it's, I'm going to get one person, announce that in hopes to attract a second?
Nah, we talking about Buck is his nickname. And I want to say as a player with the Lakers, in management and or ownership with the Dodgers and or Lakers, in total, he probably had like 12 rings. He ain't talking about waiting.
No, he's not using one free agent to entice another.
They've already been waiting. And you know what happened? They drafted D'Angelo Russell, and he's with another team.
People always talk about Paul George and LeBron James. Could we see a different combination? Could we see a Boogie Cousins in purple and gold?
Well, Boogie Cousins is probably going to miss the majority of next year because he's going to be coming back from an Achilles injury. And he probably won't fit into that initial dynamic for that reason. If I'm the Pelicans, I'm finding a way to keep him and Anthony Davis together, especially long term. So for Magic, I think success looks like signing 2 of the 3 players we mentioned, Bron, PG, and or acquiring Kawhi.
So we love our sponsors here at Jalen and Jacoby. This is a sponsor that I was partnered with, that I was in business with before they even sponsored the show. It's called Stitch Fix. My wife signed me up because my wife, she wants me to be my best. She also wants me to look my best. So she was watching me on TV saying, Jacoby, your clothes aren't there. Jalen outdresses you every single day. So what she did is she signed me up for Stitch Fix. What Stitch Fix is they are a company that will send you a box. And it's so much fun when you get the Stitch Fix box because you get to have a little fashion show. They send you items of clothes from a stylist, personally tailored just for you, what they think you would look good in, your perfect size. They suggest clothes for you. You try them on. You keep some of them, and you only pay for what you keep. You send the rest back. It's so nice. And then you develop a relationship with the stylist. They see what you kept and what you didn't keep. They see what you like. And every time you work with them, they get more and more targeted to fit your clothing needs. Speaking of fit, everything fits because they know you. It's great. It's like having a stylist. It's like having a personal shopper, but you never leave your house. It's so easy to send the stuff back that you don't want. It's great. I love Stitch Fix. And here's the thing, the styling fee is only $20, and you get that as a credit toward anything that you keep. You have complete control, so get your fix. Hurry up to stitchfix.com/Jacoby, Jacoby, and get started now. Keep all 5 items in your box, and you get 25% off your entire purchase. That's stitchfix.com/Jacoby. Go to stitchfix.com/Jacoby. A lot of the stuff that you see me wearing on the show is from Stitch Fix. They were really, really good at picking out clothes that I would probably not pick out myself in the store. But when they came to my house in the box, I put them on. I was like, ooh, I like this a lot. And I kept it. Go to stitchfix.com/Jacoby.
You said it best. I appreciate this. They did a mockumentary, had multiple people, saying their opinions about what they saw the night I walked across the stage in 1994. I like how you phrased it. Can you please repeat to the public what you said about that?
You got to remember, at the point, you were very influential in the world of fashion. You had everybody wearing black socks. You had everybody wearing baggy shorts.
Along with
Chris,
along
with everybody on the
Ray
team.
And Jay.
Of course. You did not do it yourself, of course.
Right. And Jimmy.
This was a heat check. This was a fashion heat check. You earned it. You really thought that you were going to continue being influential in the world of fashion and red suits were going to be everywhere ubiquitous. They were not. And you look silly even today, even though you're wearing it in jest.
But you know what stayed? The name Jalen.
The name Jalen did stay. I'm trying to get the Jacoby movement going. Moving on. The Cleveland Cavaliers still do not know what's going to happen with LeBron James. So they have the 8th pick as we tape this. They could trade it, but LeBron has not told them what they're going to do. Now there is a report that regardless about whether or not LeBron stays or goes, they want to retain Kevin Love, which I find interesting for this one reason. They don't have a lot of players that are attractive to other teams, especially considering their contracts. Kevin Love is probably the only true trade asset, and their roster was not good enough last year to truly test the Warriors. Do you believe that this is true, or do you think this is a smokescreen? Jalen Rose is about to take us behind the curtain.
You know what that means?
What's that?
They already did the offer.
They got rejected.
And they got rejected.
Yeah.
And the offer was Kevin Love and the 8th pick for Kawhi. And Pop was like, huh?
What?
Hold on, I got a bad signal. I'll hit you back. I promise, I'll hit you back a little later.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello?
Go through a tunnel. I'm in an elevator.
Hello?
I'm going
Okay,
through a
got it,
tunnel. I got you. I can't hear you. Kobe? Is that you, Kobe? Oh, I'm sorry. I only picked it up because I thought it was Kobe Bryant, not Kobe Altman. My bad. Finally, on draft day, when you were wearing the red suit, you were expecting to get picked higher. You expected to get picked higher than what you did. And this is going to be such a great night for so many people. But there's always those players that were invited that end up not getting picked where they expected to. And we watch them, and they go from happy to sad, and they get some pats on the back from their family. What is it like to be there? Obviously, you didn't slip that much. But what's it like to be there and expect to get picked somewhere, and then you end up not getting picked, and it gets later and later?
Oh, man, that fire should start burning. That's what happens. It's almost like your doubters won at the moment. And usually when you hear athletes talk about what fuels them, whether they initially admit it or talk about it and not realize it, is that level of people not believing in you is something that permeates as you continue to grow at any profession. And so I was like, all right, I just got to do my work. So if you notice, I didn't smile at all. Probably until I shook
You didn't look too
Commissioner
happy.
Stern's hand.
You didn't look too happy going up there, to be honest with you. Do you think that this could end up being a positive thing for a lot of players? That they use it as motivation, that they use it as fuel, and it ends up actually helping their career more than if they get picked earlier?
Absolutely, because some of us need a pat on the back, others need a kick in the butt. Clearly that's what I needed, and that's what fueled me. And a lot of guys are going to feel the same way. But I won. Though. I might as well have been the number 1 pick. Because the next day, I went to the dentist. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that.
Look at those pictures.
Look at
you know what I'm
team.
saying? So I won.
Jalen, see, one thing I know about you is you go to bed early and you wake up early. You got to get up. You've got professional responsibilities. But I also know that you got a little hall pass from Molly last night, came to the city, and enjoyed some of the draft festivities a little bit.
It wasn't a pass. We went as a team.
Oh, good. Good.
She was with me, ride or die, recording videos on my IG Live, taking pictures, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Good.
Representing like wifey. But a couple of things took place. Got a chance to see little bro Big Sean. Oh, let me tell everybody. First off, I am excited to announce that I'm officially an ambassador and consultant for Puma.
Really? Huh. Here's the thing. That's even smarter than having Jay-Z involved. You know? It's like, it's a Jay-Z, we'll put him out on Front Street. Jalen Rose, we need him to get the intel in the basketball world. Well, good, man. I know you love some Pumas, and I know that's real. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, being there, I got a chance to run into a few people. Little bro Big Sean was there, who talked to me about being in the city next week, and I'm going to try to get him to come on the program. Got a chance to run into the homie Styles P of the Locks.
Yes.
And if you've ever heard rap music in your life, you know he has bars. And if you've ever heard production in your life, got a chance to run into the homie Ninth Wonder. He was there.
Great.
Shout out.
He's dope. He got hits. The homie DJ Clue was there. Rudy Gay, who also signed with Puma, was there. The elite young athletes that they just signed, and Zaire and Ayton and Bagley were there.
And Lance.
Not only was Lance there, this is what you're going to like.
What is it?
2 other people.
I'm
First
nervous.
off, you buried Delete. God Sham God was there.
Yes.
I knew that would make you excited.
Yes.
For those who've heard of the dribble, the Sham God, the actual individual was there.
Yes, I feel like the dribble has sort of like superseded in legendary status than the actual human being.
No question. And I saw that happen with the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. When people called the school Jalen Rose. Like, I was trying to get everybody to call it JRLA.
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that. They just call it Jalen Rose.
You go to Jalen Rose.
Okay.
George Mikan, that happened too. Like, people talk about the Mikan drill. Don't talk about George Mikan.
Okay. So I said Zaire. I said Ayton. I said Bagley. I said Michael Porter III. But none of them.
Michael Porter Jr., his kid.
Michael Porter Jr., exactly. None of them being in the same building at the same time will make you more excited to tell you that two individuals that you appreciate.
I know who it is. I'm going to write it down and then show it to you. Go ahead. No, don't look at it.
Those two people are the 8th grader Lance Stevenson and Homicide.
Homicide was there? Corey? He was there? But you were in Toronto when he was there, right?
Yes.
Did you give him a pound?
Of course.
Yes. Nice. I used to see Homicide and Lance go head to head. Oh man, how'd he look? He's still playing.
He looked good. Was in shape.
Yeah, he's still playing summer.
All good.
Season just started. I saw footage of Lance playing at the Rucker just last week.
How about that? So
That's
can you
excellent.
tell the people how legendary it was for Lance Stevenson, the 8th grader, to go up against Corey Williams, Homicide?
For me, it was Homicide is he's not Pee Wee Kirkland. You know what I mean? Like he's a local legend. You know, he's not a national legend. But if you follow summer basketball for the last 10 years in New York, you've seen Homicide dominate basketball games. And to watch Lance Stevenson as a young man, halfway through puberty, probably 15 years old, go straight up against Homicide chest to chest, dunk around him, cover him, go back and forth. I was like, Lance Stevenson he's gonna be better than Michael Jordan, clearly. Didn't exactly play out that way, but that is one of the reasons I love Lance so much. I also have an announcement, Mr. Rose.
I got two other things.
Oh, this is exciting.
I got two other things. So, with those two gentlemen being in the building, it gave me a thought that, wow, Puma is a grassroots organization. And they literally tap back into the heartbeat of my childhood. Watching Beat Street, watching Breaking, wanting the suede Pumas, wanting the leather Pumas, thick shoestrings in them. The nylon suits. Gotta have the hood. It helped with the head spin. All of that ushered in an era and continued to foster one that now has become so very mainstream that people look in the rearview mirror and don't really understand how far it's come. So I appreciated being in the building with those individuals.
Clyde? We get Clyde?
No, he was not there. But at 4040 Club.
Of course.
Who owns that?
The Carters. I don't even say Sean Carter, just the Carters. 4040 I've been to so many times. I love that place. They've got all kinds of little private rooms and hovels upstairs, and there's there's the common areas, and they've got little back areas and private areas, which I'm sure where you were at.
No doubt. Shout out to the homie Pecos too.
Shout out. I have an announcement as well.
And Rock Nation.
This weekend's exciting. This Saturday is Go Hoop Day. It is a new international holiday celebrating the activity of basketball. Go Hoop Day this Saturday.
Hit the brakes. Is that the Chris Paul and Spalding one?
Exactly.
You know what we need to be doing right now?
Hooping?
Recording my video that I was supposed to record.
That you promised you were going to do.
7 to 10 days ago. You said it's this Saturday?
This Saturday is Go Hoop Day.
Okay.
Everybody use the hashtag Go Hoop Day. Get out. Get on the courts. Spend some time with a basketball, with your friends, with a hoop. Be active. This is something that Chris Paul's involved in. The legends at Game 7 are involved in. A lot of my friends are involved in. And just experience outdoor basketball and know that not just you are alone doing this, that people around the world are doing this as well. This is an exciting initiative and something that I think will grow and grow and grow as the years go on.
And what they did is try to get as many people playing basketball on the same day at the same time. Mm-hmm. So ambassadors like myself, what they asked us to do was to try to give them a handful of gyms. So I picked a few of them in Detroit that are going to participate as well.
Well, I'll be out there. But here's the thing: is I'm hooping anyway. You know,
you got
every day.
game.
Every day is Go Hoop Day.
So tell the people, because the reason why they've been with us 7 years ain't only because we talk about LeBron. They get to know who we are.
Sure.
And David Jacoby moved his family across the country. He plays basketball 100 times more than I do. Can you talk about the difference in hoops at your age in L.A. versus New York at this point with your rec game?
I'm going to take it even bigger than that, not just L.A. to New York. It's more referees versus pickup. Because I didn't play in leagues in LA because, all my friends are in New York, so I don't want to play with strangers. And just like the time commitment was different. You have to travel there, warm up, running time. Just the time reward.
I hate running time.
Yeah, exactly.
Soon as that, I'm not running. I'm not playing.
Yeah, it's annoying. So you don't get a real good sweat, but you end up spending 3 hours. But out here, the gyms are closer. And it's my boys, so we go drink beers afterwards and stuff. And I forgot, man, people just hustling. You know what I mean? The game's faster, trying, refs are missing calls, rebounding. Like, I gotta get underneath there. Rebound, people are pushing me in the face. They're jumping over me. Like, you looking up at the rebound, like, oh, that's my board. And then I see a hand come out and just snatch it away from me. It was fun to play with my boys again in an actual league game, and we got the W.
That's what's up.
I didn't play well, though.
You did?
I was 0 for 3.
Oh, that's it? Only 3 shots?
Only 3 shots. It was my first time playing with the team, you know what I mean? Some assists. I contributed.
You didn't want to come in and be that volume guy.
Yeah, exactly. My first time playing with the team. I'm just like, you guys do your thing. I didn't start. Like, you guys do your thing. Like, you guys are great. Do your thing. I'll work my way into my flow as the season moves on.
Just promise me 2 things. One, if you're going to play basketball and it's running time, you can't be coming off the bench.
Nope.
You can't give up both.
You know how this goes, Jalen. First of all, you play in the NBA. Rec leagues, this is how it goes. You got 8 guys on the team, and only 5 are available. That's how it goes when you play rec league. There's not a lot of coming off the bench. Usually it's like, we got to use all our timeouts because there's only 5 of us here.
Got it.
Or you end up playing 4-on-5 because only 4 people show up.
Got it. And the other thing is, you made a distinction that shouldn't go over a lot of people's heads. When you're playing rec ball and it's a foul, you take the ball out. Mm-hmm. When you're playing league ball and somebody gets physical and you think you got fouled, it's going the other way.
Yes, exactly. And it's pointless to complain to the refs. This ain't the NBA. I'm not going to see them again. I'm not going to build a relationship. There's no makeup calls. You know what I mean? Like, it's just and it's not even worth arguing about. It was fun though. I love it's just a different level of competition than when you're playing pickup with a bunch of old dudes.
And I hope our fans appreciate, and our supporters and our family that's followed this program appreciate the analysis that we just gave that's much more interesting about David Jacoby's basketball excursions than where LeBron's possibly going to play.
It's really about everybody's basketball excursions, though. You know what I mean? This isn't just about me personally. This is about everybody that listens to this around the world that knows the difference between pickup and rec and that plays, that knows the difference between playing in this city or that city. Pickup basketball, I could do a podcast just about pickup basketball. For real. Forever. As always, you can call 985-80-JALEN and leave us voicemails, and we'll play them on the show just like this.
Hi, Jalen. Hi, Jacoby. My name is Asia. I'm calling from Chicago, and I'm just calling because I was listening to the pod before bed. Shout out to my boyfriend Nathan for turning me on to the pod. And I never call in, but I just had to call because I was listening to the part about spades and whether that's cultural or regional, and I just have to give you some input from my background. I grew up playing spades, and it was my grandma who taught me, and I would play spades with my grandma and grandpa, my parents, my sisters. That was just like a common, game we would play along with a lot of other things, but we would play spades all the time. And I have to be completely honest, my whole family looks more like Jacoby than Jalen. So sorry to bust that theory, Jalen, but I think that may be a little bit more regional. I'm originally from Colorado, so I grew up in Colorado. That's where I learned it and played it. So just had to throw that out there. Anyways, love your guys' pod. Shout out Reg. Shout out the whole crew. Bye.
What's happening, Asia? Representing Chi-Town.
Shout out to Nathan.
Via Denver. No question. Her boyfriend. A couple of things. The reason why we love segments like cultural or regional or boss move or soft move is we speak like we're the utmost authority, but actually we're not.
And the best topics are the ones that fall in the middle that you don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never like do-rags, cultural or regional. You know what I mean? And this one, if you remember the conversation, Asia, and I have to defend ourselves here, we did kind of hem and haw a little bit because I just spoke from my own experience. I've never seen 4 people playing spades and all 4 people were Caucasian.
I've She initially acknowledged that not only does she play, but she got it from her
grandpa,
who had the whole fam playing. And so, again, I would love to stand corrected either way, but this has been a learning experience for me.
That's one of the great things about this project. We learn from our people. You know what I mean? That's why we love getting the voicemails. 9580-JALEN, leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show just like this.
Yo, what's up, fellas? What's up, man? It's Danny Gill. That's my name, coming to y'all from OKC. Love the show. Love spending time on the commute, listening to the show. My kids let me listen to the show. Shout out to the 3-kid squad there, Jacoby. I got a pickup truck, so I can't say Minivan Mafia, even though you retired from that. But anyway, listening to the older pod, y'all talking about beach games. I got one for you. I'm pretty sure I got an opinion. Regional or cultural? Cornhole. Let me know. Cornhole, where you throw the bags on the board. I don't know if y'all got another name for it. Regional or cultural? Shout out to the whole squad. Shout out to the whole team. Y'all make one heck of a pod. And, of course, shout out Reg. All right, y'all. Keep getting the checks. Keep doing what you do. Appreciate it. We'll holla at y'all.
First of all, I love Danny Gill's energy.
I do too.
I love his energy.
Representing OKC.
Yeah.
Whatever Russell Westbrook drinks before games, that's what Danny was drinking.
That's what Danny was drinking. Also, he's got the 3 kids in the pickup truck, and you know those pickup trucks, the ones with the 4 doors and the back seat in the pickup truck. That's a big truck.
That's a workout.
That's an Oklahoma truck.
And it's a workout to get them kids in and out of there, too.
Oh, yeah. He needs like a step ladder.
Yeah, he's sweating.
Yeah.
By the time he gets the kids in and out of the car.
Turns the ignition on. So, cornhole. This was already pegged as a one that we were going to use in our cultural regional segment because it is that. And Danny, he actually included the answer in his question. Do you know how? He explained what cornhole was. So we know it's not universal. If he felt like he had to explain what it was, then we know it's not universal. And I would go so far to say, Jalen, did you know what cornhole was before Danny called?
Well, let me just tell you something funny, sir. I can tell you don't watch Get Up every day like you say. That's why I love you.
Well, I prepared a show while it's on, so I got one eye on it and one eye on work.
But it's still good to have jokes.
Sure.
And call you on things when you speak into the microphone.
Sure.
You know, always tell the truth to the people.
Of course.
Literally, today is draft day Thursday. Trae Young was on the show, played cornhole with Michelle Beadle.
That makes sense. Also, but before today, do you know what cornhole was?
I did not.
Okay.
So I think this is cultural.
Mm-hmm. There is. You know what's really fascinating that you'll end up watching for longer than you think? ESPN, this company, airs the Cornhole Championships. Did you know that? We've got professional cornhole on our air. And it's better to watch than you think it is. It's also a drinking game. You know what I mean? It's always weird to watch professional darts and professional bowling and professional, like, y'all do this without drinking beers? That's odd.
Correct.
How does that
like
even
going
work?
to the movies and not eating popcorn.
Yeah, like how does that even work? So I will say this. I think that cultural regional, actually, the true title is cultural regional, personal, universal, or both.
That's getting too smart.
I know. So we just say cultural regional. But really, I think it's both. I think it is white, and I think it is southern. That's how I would say it. And listen, when we do these things, don't call from Seattle and say, I've got cornhole, we play cornhole every weekend. But these are generalities, is that how you say it?
Yes, generalities. And we want the
generalizations?
Generalizations. And we want people to correct us.
Yeah, exactly. So call us up, 9580-JALEN. Leave us voicemails. We actually don't have a show tomorrow. So we'll be recapping the news of the weekend and the draft starting on Monday. Want to thank everybody that called. Want to thank our staff.
I love that picture of Q so much.
Want to thank everybody in New York and Los Angeles. We'll be back on Monday. Why, Reg? Oh, Reg. Reg.
We're not done.
You got to bring us back, Reg.
Yeah, you got to bring us back. Bring us back, Reg. We got some extra credit for the people. We got some extra credit for the people.
Reg, it's one thing when you mess up the intro. But the outro, I used to do myself because I had the soundboard. It's 2 buttons. It's 2 buttons. It's 2 buttons, Reg. All you gotta do is press the button for we're not done, and then press the button for Give the People, and then you always like to add a little flair at the end. I like it when you do that with Fergie.
Name my little guys.
I love them. Yo, Reg.
I love them.
Reg.
I love them.
Maybe we're off tomorrow because Reggie needs some time. You know what I mean? Reggie needs some time to gather himself. But we'll be back on Monday. Why, Reg?
Done. We're not done. We're not got to give the people time. Give people what they want.
They my little guys. I love them.